Hey guys, and welcome to Aussie Reviews. Today I'm going to give you a first person look at a rifle safe from CMI Safes Australia. Now CMI are an Australian based company. They're based in New South Wales. They make a whole range of different safes. However, they've branched out into the firearm market and they make rifle and handgun safes. Now this safe that I've got here is their flagship model in their Sportsman series. It's called the R7C KCB. As you can see there where the model number is on the door, just under it says level 1 and 2, category A, B, C, D and H. So it's compliant for all of those categories of firearms across every state and territory in Australia. So it's a very high quality safe, very high end safe with a lot of security features. Overall it's a 6mm thick steel body, so very thick with the construction there, very sturdy and strong. The height of it is 1,530mm, it's 615mm wide and it's 500mm deep. Now the safe in general has a lot of security on it, being heavy duty. You can see here the hinges are very heavy duty on the doors. If you were somehow able to actually cut through them or get them off the safe, you still wouldn't be able to actually open the door because there's actually 10 25mm locking bolts holding the door into the safe. So there's 5 of them each side of the door. It's 268 kilos in weight as well, so it's definitely not a lightweight safe or a safe that you and a mate will be able to just pick up and walk away with. That's certainly not going to happen with this one. The powder coat finish that you see on the outside is a standard colour. They don't come in any other colours. It is just a nice finish. Also too, the keyless entry, the keypad here, has its own built-in security. On the keypad, if you actually put in the incorrect pin 4 times in a row, the safe will actually lock you out for 8 minutes. So you won't be able to access it in that time. So it's like a little time delay as part of its security feature. So internally it holds 7 rifles. That's what it comes with standard. So it's got an internal rack that holds 7. However, for an additional price you can actually get an upgrade to hold 14 rifles. So let me open it up for you now and we'll have a look inside. Looking at the door internally, you can see the 5 locking bolts on both sides of the door. So I'll just come round to the other side here and you can see them there as well. So they're solid steel. Also at the top you can just run your hand along the safe door and there's just no unfinished edges or anything sharp that's going to catch your hands. It just shows the level of quality that the safe is actually finished off with. You also have a warning here that's worth noting. It says use only alkaline batteries. Wrong battery type will damage the lock and void all warranty. So that's in regards to your electronic keypad there. It's just got a 9-volt battery that sits under there, so it'll beep when it gets low. So if you do get one of these safes and you need to replace it, just make sure that you only replace the battery with alkaline ones. Having a look at the main internal compartment of the safe here, you can see the rack there that holds 7 rifles. Very straightforward in getting them out. All you need to do is just simply lift them forward and then it just comes straight out like so. With the shelving, that just sits there like that and you're left with 2 pegs basically. Now they come straight out and as you can see on the side walls of the safe you've got these tracks and you can just adjust the pegs to the height that you desire. So putting it back in is very straightforward. Just put it in like so and then with the shelving just push it all the way to the rear and then just push firmly down. That just holds it in nicely from there. On the bottom of the safe, let me just focus there. You've got 4 16mm bolt holes, so you've got 2 at the rear there and 2 at the front. So I've got 16mm bolts there bolted into the concrete slab to keep this safe nice and secure. So that it definitely is. I mean, you can't move it, you can't shake it, it's just held in really nicely. With the internals here, let me just have a look up underneath the internal locking cabinet. And you can see there the welds and everything. It's just really nicely finished. It's not rough at all. It definitely is quality. When you look at the internal locking cabinet, the hinge there on the side, I'm not sure if you'll be able to see this on the camera, but if you rub your hand over, you can only just touch the hinge, because the main part of it is all hidden back in the actual steel of the safe, so it's recessed back for added security. Now the lock for the internal cabinet is just an internal key that obviously comes with the safe. The door internally, you can see there once again, solid steel, and as an added security measure too, they've even got solid steel protecting the lock, which is really good. So internally you can see there's really a lot of room in there, so if you want to store some ammo or you want to store a handgun separately to your rifles, which is a requirement in some states I believe, then you can definitely do that. Now just before I go on guys, I'll just show you this safe. They do advertise it as, you can have it as a 14 rifle safe, and all that means is just simply they send you another 2 of these internal 7 rifle racks. So all you do is you just simply put them in the shelving as well, but just move it to the front there like so. So obviously you'll have 7 rifles at the back and then 7 at the front, so you get an extra 2 shelves for an additional $45. So they just pop in like so. Okay, so definitely enough room there to be able to hold 14 rifles should you wish to do so. Okay, so I'll put a couple of rifles, pistol in there now, just so you can look at the overall size and the dimension of it when it's actually got some firearms in it. So I've put 3 rifles and a pistol in the safe now. Just on the legality wise, here in Queensland, there is no offence for actually putting your pistols with your rifles, provided that the storage you've got it in complies with legislation. So obviously this safe exceeds requirements there for Category H as well as Cat A and B. So no dramas in housing them together here in Queensland. Okay, looking at the clearance, you can easily see there's a lot of room left in the safe. For the clearance wise, from the muzzle of the tallest rifles there in the middle, you've still got a fair bit of clearance before it gets up to the base of the floor of the internal locking cabinet. The actual clearance that you've got from the base of the floor, from that internal locking cabinet down to the actual floor of the safe, is 1230 mil. So there's still a fair amount of room, ample enough to house, you know, your target rifles with those 26-inch barrels. No dramas at all. Alright, let me talk about a couple of negatives, or one negative really. This is my only complaint about the safe, and it is very minor in nature because it really doesn't interfere with the operation of the safe. I just would have thought for such a high-end safe, it would have been nice just to see maybe just a little bit of carpet over the floor internally, and also on the rack there at the back where the timber rubs against the barrels of the rifle. It just would have been really nice just to see a little bit of carpet or something there. Now, I mean, you can just go down to your local shops and really sort that problem out yourself for, what, a couple of dollars? But I just would have liked to have seen it just to finish off a really nice safe. Overall, though, I mean, the safe isn't cheap. It's $2,641 retail. Now, I know a lot of you guys are going to be saying, well, geez, you know, I could get 4 cheaper safes for that. Well, look, that's true, but you've really got to look at the quality. You've got to look at where they're made. And ultimately, you've got to have a look at how serious you are about your own security. For me, I mean, my previous safe I had was a Sentry. I've had a couple of them. Now, they're Chinese import safes, as most people know. Problem with them is that, like my last one, and I found it with the last 2 actually, is a lot of the time when you put in the pin on the electronic keypad, the door wouldn't open. So I had to put it in 2 or 3 times before the door would open. So that to me was just low quality. Also, one of the safes I had, when I bolted it into the floor, I could actually still rock the safe slightly because the actual steel on the base of the floor had warped. So that sort of led me to believe, well, you know, what sort of quality is the metal or the steel going into these safes like? So for me, you know, I was really happy with getting this safe, only because I am obviously very serious about my security, and I've got those additional categories of weapons on my license. So for me, I just wanted security above and beyond what was required, and this safe definitely does it. Now, I actually went through a company down in Brisbane called Northside Locksmiths. They're on the north side of Brizzy, obviously. Now, those guys were really great. Their customer service was second to none. And why I say that is because it was an additional $300 on top of the safe. They actually got it couriered out to me here at my property, and they had a locksmith come out and professionally install everything. Also show me the features and just give me a run over of how the safe works and make sure I was happy with it. So I was really happy with the service from those guys. They were really keen to do business, and in my opinion anyway, companies that are like that are definitely deserving of our support. So I'm going to put them in the link at the bottom of this review in the description field. If of course you're not around Brisbane or on the outskirts there somewhere, just go to cmisafe.com.au and that'll take you to the main CMI website, and they can put you in touch with your local dealer. Okay, so I'll wrap up the review now, guys. Thanks very much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed it. Please remember to check out my Facebook page if you'd like to see some sneak peeks with upcoming reviews. And until next time, we'll catch you then.